Disclaimer! Under Title 17 U.S. Code, in Sections 107 to 118 of the Copyright Law, all media in the video is used for purpose of review and commentary under the terms of fair use. All media used in this belongs to their respective copyright holders. AKA, I don't own this shit and I don't claim to own this shit. This shit belongs to the people who made it. Also, I swear a lot. If you don't like that, just stop watching right now. Anyway, here's the thing.
Hey, John.
Thank you.
RCAnime here.
Right? Okay, listen, thank you for meeting me on such short notice. I need a favor. I'm doing a review of Mawaru Penguindrum, and I know it's your favorite, and I need some penguins.
John, I told you that Yakuza doesn't do any favors. And also, what?
Yeah, I know it's short notice, and I know it's really weird, but I just figured you'd be the guy to talk to because you love the show, and I just... oh boy.
John! I got you, bro. You good?
Hey everybody, it's BaronJ, and whoa, hi, yes, hello, nice to meet you. So before we continue, let's talk penguins. You like penguins? I like penguins. When was the last time you saw a penguin? You know penguins mate for life? Come on down this weekend to Crazy Baron's penguin sales and get 2 penguins for the price of 4 penguins, because that's 4 penguins at a higher value, because this is how the sales industry works. So if I say Brains Base, it should bring to mind a couple of titles, mainly Steins Gate, Durarara, and Bakano. Everybody knows Brains Base for doing these, basically, and a couple of others, but mainly after all of these, the next show people go to is Mawaru Penguindrum, aka that show that makes your friends say,
Mawaru Penguindrum? Can't say I've ever heard of it. Does it have penguins in it?
I can't tell you how many times people actually say that to me after I say the name of the show. But yeah, written and directed by the guy responsible for Sailor Moon and Revolutionary Girl Utena, and more recently, what I like to refer to as the Lesbian Bear Hoedown, Penguindrum is one of the best shows to come out of Brains Base, and oddly, it's not really well known or mentioned in the same breath as some of the other shows it's done. Though, understandably so, it's a bit of a venture from what you might know from them. Our story begins with these guys, Shoma and Kanba. These chromatically offset brothers are taking their too-cute-for-this-world sister, Himari, to the Aqua Zoo. And, oh look!
Ah yes, the penguin, more professionally known in the biological community as a tuxedo bird.
As they're walking around, having a merry old time, the unthinkable happens. Then, as they're mourning in the hospital and beginning to go through the stages of grief, the unthinkable happens again. So yeah, the hat Shoma bought her has a spirit residing within, and it decrees to these 2 brothers that she'll keep the girl alive until... This is the point where any rational person would say,
How about you, I don't know, get rid of the hat.
Back at the ranch, the kids get a shipment of 3 huge eggs and then go about their day. And then,
Yes, excuse me, how much for tiny penguin? I want it.
As Shoma returns home, he finds his siblings cooking dinner with their own penguin butlers, and then the predictable happens, followed once again by the unthinkable.
Okay, that hat is definitely some sort of black magic voodoo bullshit that's keeping your sister alive. So here's what you're going to do. This is standard procedure. This is an ordinary cardboard box. You can get these anywhere. Step 1, take the hat off. Step 2, put the hat in the ordinary box. Step 3, put the box in the closet and forget it's there. You know, like, what hat? I don't have a hat. And step 4, don't put on the hat.
So, essentially, the spirit residing within the hat decrees that it's going to keep their sister alive. They just have to find the penguin drum. Excuse me, what does the penguin drum look like? Also, where is it? Bitch, I don't know. Get to work. The rest of the series follows the exploits of these kids and the siblings' hunt for the mysterious Penguindrum, while dealing with unknown forces that hinder their search along the way. So, let's talk art style. Goddamn, I have never seen a show that keeps a more consistent style of direction and visual theme. All of the transitionary bits, world-building detail, and background design all fit the show's tone like a damn jigsaw puzzle. So much effort was put into crafting the overall theme of Penguindrum, and it really shows. On that note, the animation, while remaining pretty static in terms of motion during a lot of the dialogue and some of the less action-heavy sequences, is compensated heavily by the show's direction and editing, which is incredibly rare even now. Compounding with that statement, I'll say it works incredibly well with the art design I was talking about before. There is some CG in the show, but it's used sparingly and in bits where it makes sense, and is offset once again by the editing and direction. There's a lot of studios and productions nowadays that try to cut corners with heavy CG and sacrificing quality of design. So Penguindrum, even though it's like 6-something years old, sets a precedent that you can make a low-budget show that works wonders just by utilizing the tools at your disposal effectively. The sound and music design is spectacular too. While too much of it can usually ruin a soundtrack for me, there's a lot of piano. Like, a lot of piano.
Crazy Baron here again with another special offer. Hey, guess what? We ran out of penguins, but now we got pianos.
Here's a piano. Future piano. Not a piano. Here's another piano. It's the same one as before. This isn't even a piano. Poop, 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 poop. See, it doesn't make noise, but it knows how to love.
Come on down this weekend and I will sell you 5 pianos worth of piano in 2 pianos. That is 2 pianos with 5 times the value.
But Penguindrum uses the old ebony and ivory more as a building block and less of a musical crutch. The tinkling keys often meld into larger orchestral pieces or intense electroacoustic beats, and that really drives the dialogue and story. The OPs and EDs have their own unique tone that solidifies even more the fusion of stylization and directing I keep talking about over and over again. Even that weird fever dream jam you heard during that seemingly out of place and random sequence earlier begins to fit in the oddly diverse OST. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about, the story. So the plot gets a teensy bit convoluted. Every character has their motivations, some more prevalent than others, but some of the elements later on in the show reveal things previously left up to the viewer to infer. But rather than tying up loose ends, it kind of makes you take everything at face value up until the actual explanation in the show's final episodes. You take a lot of this in early on, and you don't really know what's happening until the end. In my experience, it's not really a bad thing. It just feels a bit like at a certain point, all the mental notes you may have had on the show get highlighted in the black Sharpie, and then torn, and then replaced with more notes, and then you're just left with a bunch of paper on your desk and way too many questions. However, by the time everything is all laid out, it makes sense of itself rather satisfyingly. So I've gone a lot more in depth than I typically do, so if that's any indication of my recommendation, it probably goes without saying, but what the hell. Go watch Mawaru Penguindrum when you get the chance. It stands out from the crowd of other slightly under-budgeted shows to bring you an art piece that, despite everything it had going against it, builds interest from the ground up, takes a giant leap with concept, and, funny enough, due to its namesake, takes flight. Here's the end of the video. I have some strong subscribe button on Facebook and Twitter. Left-hand corner, shirts. Right-hand corner, audiobook. If you have a suggestion for a show for me to watch, let me know in the comments. This also goes for funny voices and random stuff you want me to do. Special thanks to Matt and Callum for letting me use them in the intro. I literally came up with that in like 30 seconds while we were on the train on the way to AX. So hey, that worked out pretty well. If you want to check out their channels, you can click here or here. I don't know. I'm going to put something on the screen. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.